Hello, students. Today we're going to talk about Period 3 New Governments. The Articles of Confederation. The first attempt at unifying the colonies into a single country was the Articles of Confederation from 1781 to 1789. The articles stated government was a confederacy, one which gave most of its power and authority to the states rather than a central government. Fearing recurring tyranny, the drafters made sure to create a weak central government, which turned out to be tough to deal with. For example, the new government was unable to impose taxes, create treaties, settle with Native Americans, or command a patronized military. Thus, any attempts at diplomacy or suppression of rebellion, such as Shea rebellions, saw a weak government unable to cope. Because of this, people supported a strong central government and published the Federalist Papers, written by Alex Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay. The U.S. Constitution, 1789. The second attempt at a constitution came in the form of a federal government. A federal government meant that states still had local power, but the most power was focused on a central government. The government was broken into three branches: the legislative branch, which was Congress, the executive branch, the president, and the judicial branch, the Supreme Court. This setup was employed to assure that power was divided amongst the various groups or people so that no one could abuse their power. The Great Compromise. While it was agreed Congress should be a representative assembly, it was unclear how it would be set up. Large states wanted representatives selected by population, while smaller states wanted an even amount of reps. When large states and small states couldn't agree on how to set up Congress fairly, they were forced to adopt both. The Great Compromise split our Congress, lawmakers, into two parts. First was the House of Representatives based on population, and also was the Senate, which had two representatives per state. Additionally, regarding the question of how to count slaves in the census for the purpose of establishing the number of House members, the compromise was made at three-fifths the number of slaves residing in the state. This was known as the Three-Fifths Compromise. The Bill of Rights. Fearing a return of monarchy, a group known as the Anti-Federalists opposed a federal government without specific protections. In order to pass the new U.S. Constitution, the other group, the Federalists, included a specific set of rights guaranteed to appease the anti-Feds. This Bill of Rights was the first 10 amendments and focused on the protection of natural rights for the individual. Example, the First Amendment protects the freedom of religion, a response to persecution by the Church of England. Checks and balances. Drafters greatly feared a strong monarch central government and built in some safety measures. This included a system of checks and balances to limit the power of each branch. Essentially, each branch of government could stop the other if they were abusing power. Lastly, the drafters included an amendment system to change the Constitution with three-fourths of the state's approval. Okay, thank you, students, for listening in.